We're here at episode 13. Lucky number 13. Yesterday was Friday the 13th. And here we are. This is Old Dog and Zippy 13. Wow. So welcome to all those in the nightmare realm. And it's a subdued day. Shit could definitely feel fucked up around these times. There was a racist rally in D.C. today. The White House is saying some bullshit, saying there was over 1 million people there. There was not over 1 million people there. The news outlets are reporting thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, but that's it. The White House saying millions of people there. So freaking wacky. It harkens back to that law from that lie. Those people are the people of law, and they're into law and order. What is that where people find fascism appealing? Comment section is open, so please get involved in the comments, get involved in the discussion. When we marched in Washington to protest the Iraq war in 2003, what was that, early 2003, we had maybe 500,000 people in Washington. And welcome Zeno. Yeah, we went and marched Zeno down there in Washington, and we marched in New York City. February 15th rally, no blood for oil. But man, maybe let's say they had 10,000 people down there. But so apparently things did get violent. I think about this creepy guy in the White House when he said there's good people on both sides in Charlottesville. I mean, maybe if anything, you could say there's bad people, but for my friends and people on the left, like, I get it. Like, fuck these people. They're basically coming out and doing a racist rally. So I get it. Like, if you see a Nazi, punch them in the face, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's the answer. You know, the history, sort of the philosophy about this kind of stuff. I would say, you know, the sayings are, you know, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, or, you know, what are you going to do? There's going to be mass bloodshed. Should we, you know, look, obviously that's not going to work, right? Can't just exile or get rid of all the people that we don't agree with politically. We're going to have to reconcile. There's real problems in this country. So hopefully through education, I don't know, in some real peace and love revolution, we can find some common ground in peace and love and, you know, empathy. With Zeno, you'll know that special feeling of marching and chanting and screaming and nothing changing. I appreciate that quote, Zeno. You know, I did get very disillusioned after all of that protesting that we did in the early 2000s, that, you know, 500,000 people in Washington saying, don't do this. Hans Blix, there's no weapons. Hans Blix, like, they don't have the weapons of mass destruction, you know. And no, I don't know, maybe Hans Blix, maybe from one of the Nordic countries. But Denmark, anyway, they were like, they're getting rid of the missiles, and then the United States just didn't listen to that, and then we're still actually in war in Iraq. There's no news about that, which is really interesting. And Zeno, once again, thank you for that recommendation, the trial of the Chicago 7, because they remind us that during the Vietnam War, they were sending these reports out on the news every night of all the U.S. soldiers that had been killed that day, or since the last tally. So yeah, I get it, Zeno. I got really disillusioned, right? 500,000 people in Washington, and nothing changes. They're still going to go to war if that's what the agenda is. But I do think, I don't know. I mean, I do think there's power in a general strike. Like I heard some talk. If this guy's not going to leave office, you just do a general strike. If things like that could happen, then perhaps we really could see some change. And people still have to, make their voices heard, because at the end of the day, at least you might be able to tell the grandchildren, hey, look, I didn't stay silent during that time. I was at least, out there trying to push, to make the world a better place. All right. Peace and love, peace and love. Let's just get right into a chill and somber video to just enjoy the mood. Curl up with your herbal tea. I don't know, Zeno's maybe doing a yogi tea. Maybe he's moved on to a traditional medicinals blend, something like that. I bet it's organic. And so enjoy your herbal beverages or your herbs or whatever you might be doing. Maybe you're eating some leftovers, vegan pizza or something like that, and enjoy this first of the week 13 montages. Here we go.
I mean, has anyone here ever heard of Danville?
Yeah, we're and one of the thrusts I think of that this racist seemingly white guys rally in DC today is they're talking about election fraud, and I just want to say, like, as someone here somewhere in between Danville and DC, like, you know what I mean? The votes went red here. I think the initial headline I saw was like Amherst County goes all in for the Republicans. But I actually wrote in, I was like, it's not all in. Like, you could do things like I could talk to the reporter here. I mean, I guess you could do that in New York, but it's like you could like talk to the mayor here and stuff. But I was just like, it's not all in. Like, one out of every three voters, one voter voted for Biden. The blue candidates. You can't find one pure veg restaurant in this whole county. Are you kidding me? A whole county, not one pure veg restaurant? Y'all are spoiled in New York with hundreds of pure veg restaurants, at least 100 different pure veg restaurants in the collection of counties that make up New York. Yeah, New York's a special city. 5 counties make up New York. New York's on another level. Next biggest city, LA City. Now, sure, LA has a lot of people in the metro area, but New York has more people in the metro area. New York just is almost double the amount of people of the second biggest city population-wise in the United States. So New York's a special, unique place. And it's easy to be vegetarian there. But you know what? It's not that hard to be vegetarian in bumfuck either. They still, at the local supermarket, they're going to have some Gardein products. Just like Howard says, yum, 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 that Gardein. Robin likes it, you know what I mean? She made the Gardein meatballs. It works if you need that meat fix, And right, Zeno says pure veg. That's why I like to say that pure veg means vegan in India. Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to say. A pure veg restaurant. I'm not talking about, some side business at a health food store that might, make an egg salad or put cheese on the fucking sunshine burger. I'm talking about pure veg. There's a lot of benefits that could come from the pure veg diet. Climate change, just moving to more people were eating, they say, just one vegetarian meal a week. If everyone in the United States ate once a week a vegetarian meal, would have an impact on pollution, for instance. Health, okay? I'm having some phlegm. I got to keep your health up, but the vegan diet is good for shit. You hear these stories, you see these documentaries like What the Health on Netflix. You could check out Natalie Portman, Eating Animals. Just those two, if you could find those 2 docs, like there's a lot of good information in there. But it's like there's stuff where like people who are like on heart medication or something, they're supposed to just be on this medication for the rest of their life. Like they could just adopt a vegan diet. Like these people chronicle, they went vegan, and within a couple weeks, within a month, they were able to stop all this medication that they were just going to have to take for the rest of their lives. So, look, going vegan might feel daunting, but that's what I'm saying. Stores make it a lot easier now. You can find the shit around. You might be able to find the Impossible Burger, the Beyond Burger at some random bar or something these days. So, these are some of the reasons to go for it. The pandemic, like just the fact that like this shit apparently, came out of the wet market. And I think wet markets are akin to a factory farm. 99% of the meat and dairy that people are consuming in the United States comes from factory farms, not some Pat LaFrida, some frou-frou, I don't know, Organic Valley cheese if you're doing that one. But it's interesting. And about the quality of the stuff, I think there's definitely something to be said for the quality. Like if you're going to have to do the dairy, try to get the quality. I've observed in myself and others that a lower quality dairy, if that's the Bodega American cheese, if that's just the mozzarella at, your random pizza spot, unless that pizza spot is advertising, this is some organic buffalo mozzarella, some shit like that, it's just going to be some of that 99%, came from a factory farm. And I've observed that, that kind of lower quality dairy can have a more adverse reaction. You can have more of that kind of allergic reaction. I've noticed that too, getting off dairy, your body all of a sudden could be much more sensitive to it, whereas if you're used to it, well, then when you get off it and you get some of that cheapo nightmare cows never see the light of day dairy in your system, it's like, I don't know, you could taste the terror, that factory farm. All right, peace and love. We're going to get into this next montage here, the week 13 montage 2. Okay, and there's going to be a bit about Bob Good. If you know, Bob Good is a Republican candidate, and he actually ended up beating the good Dr. Webb. That's something we've talked about on the show in the past. And I say Bob bad. And so I had some fun with his acceptance speech. All right, enjoy. Thank you.
All three of them, they're all three were in the field all day today, the whole day. Greg will see that Connor by nature that he's
I'm having to spit.
Was able to travel to the Alhambra campaign, just delivered a class. They've had a lot of late nights and a lot of early mornings.
I'm having to spit because of Bob Good. I'm really displeased. Look at this guy.
Who has just my wife of 32 years, who I met on this campus 36 years ago.
Oh my God. What? Oh my God. It's so creepy. Oh my God. Peace and love.
Tracy has traveled so much to campaign with me. It's just really interesting as you travel and do this, you have people tell you how she's so neat to have your son with you, so neat to have the wife with you. And that's a rare thing. I don't know if it's a rare thing, but I know
you wrestle with your son.
I want to thank congratulate Cameron Webb.
Oh man, yo, this is the get Dr. Webb's name out your mouth, Bob. I don't think so, Bob. The numbers are not in yet.
A starkly different picture than the current first family. And
I don't know if y'all could pick up the pizza of it in there, but that's fantastic. I hope they have a vegan variety.
Senator Harris, Vice President-elect Harris said, she said Joe Biden had the audacity to break a barrier and select a woman. And, I think what you are saying is right. He was rewarded for a lifetime of service, a lifetime of making his public life about the country he served.
Come press the beat button. Hit that beat button, please. We're just gonna drop the drums in. Put the drums in. Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Isn't that interesting? Those Christmas floats, someone's backyard, people gearing up, See some lights on the houses. That was Bob Good there. Yeah, if Bob Good first came on my radar, there were a lot of ads around here. I'm not even in his district, but there were a lot of ads on here. One where he was wrestling his adult son and being like, I'm like liberal ideas, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, I'm going to take them down. Healthcare, I'm going to pin that. Defund the police, I'm going to drop that idea. So it was very angry, very hateful politics. And I want to say peace and love. Back at the Whole Food store, talking to Barry, reading Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti, I believe, talks about, and this is akin to, as we talked about, the Kali Yuga, this idea that we go through these ages, that we're in some game, let's say, where the deity broke itself up into all the pieces that make the universe, all the pieces that make up all of us, all the things on earth. There's all the different pieces of the deity, and the game is to put it back together again. You know, after so many eons of being whole, now the deity plays a game of putting itself back together. And we seem like we're in dire straits. How are we going to come together? But it's just important to remember that everyone is here and now, the past and the future, here now in the present, all of humanity, everything that's ever happened, contained like hologram in each moment, in this very moment. We're all connected, all oneness. That's what we have. All alone and all one. So love yourselves, be good to yourselves, give yourself a hug. If you're potted up with people, hug your loved ones. And as much as we continue to fight for change, call your representatives, get out in the streets, make your voice heard, but also pay attention to the internal revolution. Be a good example for others. You can help show others the way of kindness, truth, and how to be like an upstanding citizen, peaceful, aspire for that bodhisattva way of life. All right, well, it's a good enough place to end. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace and love will ride out through the tunnel, and like we always do. And as always, I'm hopeful, and I know together with all of you out there, we can find that new morning, that beautiful new morning on the other side of this tunnel. All right, peace and love. That's Old Dog Zippy 13. See you all next week. Peace and love. Take care, everyone.